Welcome to Toffee TV. It is the player ratings for Everton 1, Crystal Palace 1A. Very disappointing result in Everton's hunt for European football, which, seems more difficult every game we play, considering the results in the second half of the season. I think that's what... I think we've picked up in the second half of the season. I think we've picked up 14 points, which isn't very good, is it? Let's be honest, it's not very, very good. I mean, listen. I'm not writing it off as such. I think we could easily still get 7th place. We're only actually 2 points behind Liverpool in 7th place, and we've got a game in hand. But it's just the results, isn't it? It's just the results. It's the results. It's also the amount of injuries we're getting. So no Allen today, and obviously no Decore, but Jean-Philippe Gbamin is back. So that's a major boost. Maybe not for the next couple of games, but certainly once he gets a few more games and more training under his belt and more confident. But we can. I mean, listen, it's still there. I don't look at the table and think, oh, it's gone. I look more at the results and think to myself, we're going to have to win. We're going to have to win some big games. So it's still there. But, it was Everton have got to go and take it. And you look at a game like this and think, go and win it. Go and win it. And we didn't. And that's probably, that's what makes people think we're not going to get Europe, isn't it? At the end of the day, it's just, it is what it is. It's the same old Everton that we've been watching for years and years. That's what informs your viewpoint. The fact that a lot of us have been watching this Everton team for a while. And we all sort of think we all know and how it will end. And ultimately there's no real surprises with Everton. They always tend to do what you think they're going to do, which is why we always use the same excuses and same terms about them, Everton that and all that. It's because they never really seem to surprise anybody, whereas other clubs tend to now and again. It is what it is. Let's get into the player ratings. In goal, Robin Olsen, I've given him a 6. Was quite comfortable for most of the game. I do think he could have done better with the goal, though. I do think that he doesn't really make himself big, and he has this tendency to cover his near post first, leaving the rest of the goal open. I think he could do better, personally. I think he could do better with the goal. I think if he just stays big a little bit longer and possibly uses legs, then I think he saves that. But he doesn't. He goes down really quickly to his right-hand side. So I'll give him a 6. Mason Holgate. I thought Mason Holgate was all right today, to be honest. I thought he was obviously playing as a centre-back. And he looked a lot more comfortable. He looks a lot more comfortable in 3. Michael Keane doesn't look comfortable in 3, but he looks a lot more comfortable in 3. So I've given him a 7. I thought he did okay. Don't think he, and as I said, I think he looks a lot more comfortable in a 3, and obviously not playing. He took a lot of stick playing right back. Well, he's not a right back, is he? He isn't a right back, so ultimately you're not going to get the best out of him. Michael Keane, who I don't think does ever look very comfortable in a 3. I've given him a 5. I just don't think he likes playing in a 3. I don't think he looks comfortable in a 3. I don't think it suits his skill set. And I think, he wasn't a fault for the goal, but he obviously doesn't get out quick enough. But I just didn't think he looked that comfortable today. The defence as a whole were quite good, but I just the goal is because he's sitting in and doesn't play the lad offside. Yerry Mina, I've give Yerry Mina 7.5. Again, defensively, just genuinely always knows where to be. Reads the danger, I think, ahead of time. Made some really crucial blocks and interceptions. Good in the air. Genuinely, but all the Everton players were good in the air and in the defence. I don't think they lost a battle in the first half. I'm not sure what the second half, but certainly the first half they won all the headers. I think Yeremina is just a really good defender. I think his passing was spot on today. Yeah. And I think the three at the back was okay because it got Seamus Coleman going forward on the right, and that's why I think that's why we employed the three today. And also they're a very attacking side. We've seen that. And it was to nullify them, which we did. Seamus Coleman. Give Seamus Coleman a 8.5. I thought he was excellent today. Give us exactly what we needed. He gave us width. He obviously got the assist. He was roaming into midfield. He was getting up the line. He was helping out defensively. He was using all that experience. I thought he was excellent today. I don't understand why we took him off. I can't for the life of me understand why we took him off. I thought it was a very, very strange decision to take him off. Yeah, I thought it was weird. Because I just thought he was doing everything we needed him to do. And he was stopping them from playing as well. And I just found it a very strange substitution. Very, very strange substitution. And I think that started to open the door for them to start getting forward, personally. Yeah, I don't know why we took him off. Really don't. Thought he had a really good game today, Seamus. I thought he took our best two players off, really, and that helped them get back in the game. So I'll give Seamus Coleman an 8.5. Luca Dean, a 6. Never offered loads going forward. Got a booking in the first half, which meant he had to sort of calm himself down a little bit, going in for tackles and stuff. But as an attacking threat, did really well for our goal. I'll give him that. Did really well for our goal. But yeah, didn't quite do enough today. Tom Davis, 6.5. Sat in front of the back four. Thought he did okay. When Gylfi Sigurdsson came on, it made it really hard for him because obviously with Gylfi Sigurdsson then James Rodriguez, there wasn't a lot in front of him to defend defensively. But he did okay. I thought he used the ball well. Just kept it nice and tidy. Didn't offer too much, but that's where I like to see Tom Davis. Just sitting in front of the back four and just being the player who takes it and moves it around. And I think with someone like James Rodriguez and the team, it makes it a lot easier for him. Andre Gomes obviously got the injury and went off. I've given him a 6. Just went off injured, obviously. Not too. I don't think he was playing that good before he went off. James Rodriguez, I've given him a 9. Run the show for us. Obviously scored the goal. Everything good came through him. Switching the play brilliantly like we were in the first half of the season, or the very, very first part of the season. Just everything good about Everton today come from James Rodriguez. And it's just a shame we haven't got more players with his ability because we'd be doing a lot better, but we haven't. And ultimately, you could see the difference with him having some rest and being 100% fit or somewhere near 100% fit. You could see that he looked a lot more mobile as well. He was going in for tackles, getting around the pitch better. He just looked a lot better with having a good rest under his belt and being fully fit rather than being 60% fit in every game. So I just thought he was excellent today, and his goal was fantastic. So I've given him a 9. With Charlison, I've given him a 5. Just needed to put a chance away. But he couldn't. The goalkeeper kept on making good saves. He had one in the first half, a header, which he should have done really a lot better with. He'd had an earlier chance where Andre Gomez, for some reason, had given the ball when we were 3-on-1. Andre Gomez giving the ball, he was offside, but why James Rodriguez giving the ball when he was clearly offside? No idea. But the keeper made some really good saves off Richarlison. I'm not excusing him from not scoring because I think he should have scored. But yeah, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, I've given him a 3. I thought he was awful today. I honestly thought he was awful. I don't know. He just looked like the player that we had before Carlo come in. Someone who just ran around a little bit rather than got involved in the game. Someone who just, and he had chances as well. He had the chance in the first half early on where he just needs to have some composure and either go round the keeper or chip it over the top of him. Then he has the one just after 1-0 where, again, have some composure, slide it down the side of the goalkeeper. And the mad thing is, though, what I would say, right, is, and listen, today, if those two players had taken the chances, we would have won the game. But you've still got to remember, if it wasn't for Dominic Calvert-Lewin's goals and Richarlison's goals, we would be absolutely nowhere near where we are. So there has to be just that little caveat. We need better players. We need another player in there. Clearly, Josh King is not the answer. Clearly, he was brought in, because technically he's on loan, don't forget. And he didn't cost us a fortune. People have got this idea that King cost us £5 million. He didn't. He cost us barely anything, right? He's on loan. He cost us barely anything. People have got this idea that he cost a lot of money when he didn't. But he clearly was just one of those buys. It was like, we'll see what happens. He hasn't been needed as such, or the manager doesn't like him. Wasn't the manager's buy? I don't know. But clearly the manager doesn't fancy him. So therefore we need to get another striker. I don't know who that striker is. I like the idea if maybe Tammy Abraham doesn't start getting games for Chelsea. He could be viable at a decent price. I don't know what his price would be, but I like the idea of having another young striker who can put the ball in the back of the net. But clearly the manager doesn't fancy him. Clearly doesn't fancy him. So we have to get another striker, because Dom is really good at some things, but some things he's really not good at. And his composure levels are just woeful. They're woeful. Little tap-ins, great. Put the ball in the air, great. But one-on-ones, no composure. No composure at all. So we have to have more options. We have to have an options where we have to have the option where it's the players look to the bench and think, right, he's going to come on. Well, it's not happening, is it? Josh King obviously doesn't strike any fear into anyone. But that's the way it is. That's the way it is. But he still scored like 19 goals this season. And Abraham's still Chelsea's top goal scorer as well. But yeah, we've got to. These players have got to become clinical in games. Listen, a lot of the time, these players don't get chances. They feed off scraps. But today they got chances, and they missed them, and it's poor. They've got to be better. They've got to be better. Otherwise, you get a player who's better than them. You get a player who's better than them. Simple as that. Who will put them on the bench. But as we don't have those players at the moment, what I don't know what people want, because he's not going to bench Dominic Calvert-Lewin. He's not going to bench Richarlison, because they're the two players who score all our goals. Nobody else apart from James Rodriguez scores goals for Everton, unless it's penalties or the odd set piece. Nobody else scores goals for us. That's a simple fact. That is the simple fact. So yeah, the subs, Gylfi Sigurdsson, a 6. He was all right. Did okay. had a couple of half chances. But yeah. Ben Godfrey, 5. Again, I honestly didn't think he added anything when he came on. I don't think he quite understood the position. I don't think he knew where he needed to be, what to do. I think he got caught out for the goal. I thought, as I said, really, really strange sub. Not really sure why he made that sub. I don't really think he truly understood where he was going. So, yeah. I just thought it was a very strange sub. Jean-Philippe Gbamin, I've given him a 7 because at the end of the day, the kid has been out for 2 years nearly, or 2 seasons. I don't really think it was a very good sub. I don't think we should have brought him on. I thought that was strange, considering it was only 1-0. And I honestly thought he was on the bench for the sake of being on the bench, just to be like, here's your little gift for being, because we've got no one else. But he didn't, don't get me wrong, he didn't do anything wrong. Didn't do anything wrong. Did nothing wrong when he was on the pitch. But I just thought it was a very strange one. But fair play to him. Fair play to that kid for fighting back and coming back. And that's a long time not to play football. That's a long time to deal with not being a footballer and not being able to kick a ball. And then coming back and getting injured again. And then coming back and then having another problem. So fair play to him. He's had to fight back twice from really serious injuries, and he got his reward today. Got back on the pitch, putting all the things to bed that people were saying about him, that he'd never play again, that this and that. But that's it, isn't it? At the end of the day, I'd say one thing I would say today is, at the end of the day, on that pitch today, there was Ben Godfrey come on as a sub. James Rodriguez obviously started the game. Robin Olsen, who started the game. Again, everybody else was a player bought before Carlo Ancelotti's time. Every other player. And that still is the problem. Is that there's a lot of players left over from, there's a whole team basically there. No Decore. No Allen. So there's two of the 4 big players we bought in the summer not available. And that's part of your midfield. It's going to be an interesting summer. It's got to be an interesting summer. And if we don't buy players who can move this team forward, then we're dead in the water, aren't we? We're dead in the water. Simple as that. Everyone will be rushing away from us. Teams who have done poorly this year will do better next year. And that's it. So another game to forget at Goodison Park, sadly. And that's the other factor as well. No fans in that ground. No fans in that crowd. Is another factor, but there we go. Another disappointing result. We play next Monday against Brighton. Another opportunity to get 3 points, especially because we're playing away from home. And we'll see what happens, but it is what it is. Listen, it is what it is. I'm seeing a lot of people talking about Carlo and all this Carlo out and all this kind of thing. Well, yeah, sound. Well, then who are you going to get then? Who are you going to get to lead Everton to go forward? Who's going to be big enough to drive Everton forward? Who's going to have the authority to drive Everton forward? And, someone saying there about filling the stadium. We'd fill the stadium with a terrible team, never mind a good team. No problem. Absolutely no problem. Yeah, there you go. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you played Toffee Picks today, I hope you did well. See what happens next week. There you go. Make sure to check out my instant match reaction, Baz's videos as well. We'll be doing the final word tomorrow. live on Patreon. The link is in the description, and it'll be on the screen right now for Patreon if you want to join that. Daily live videos over there. Thank you for watching. Give this video a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you later. Goodbye.